friends, this is Rick, and this is your seat at the table. I am working on trying to tweak the music inside my intros, to make them less shocking when you first plug in. I've had a number of people comment in comments that say that it's pretty jarring, and it's a trial and error and a working process. I'm using XSplit for my video source for creating these videos, and there has some control, but I'm just not getting the hang of how that works. My hope is by dialing down the sound on the laptop in the beginning when I start the video during the intro, and then gradually increasing it to a point where you can hear me will function. That said, there's a couple videos I did last week that have the old intro, and they're loud, is what it is. I'm not reshooting those. I'm sorry, but I'm not. So this is, please bear with me in this particular scenario. So what we're looking at today is Star Wars Cracken's Rebel Field Guide. Now, this, once again, is one of the older Star Wars or West End game stuff. I paid $13 for that in 1991. There is a lot of good material in this particular book that translates well into any Star Wars or any science fiction genre game, in my opinion. The idea basically is giving you a bunch more of, I don't know, kind of James Bond, MacGyver kind of material for you to play around with for your characters and players to investigate and explore. So some of the information that's in here, of course, has probably been revisited in newer versions of other things, and I would suggest if you have those, use those rules as they apply, and then if there's something missing, blend it in. So in this case, we're talking about jury rigging, the role of jury rigging, proving existing abilities, adding new abilities, equipment failure, the jury rig breakdown table for things that might go south and what potentially can. We have more information on prosthetics, installing them, the costs and maintenance issues with them. Also, that there is in many areas, there's a social thing. A lot of people tend to view people who have had mechanical devices of any sort installed in the person to be less than a human being. So there's a stigma that goes along with it. So we got General Cracken's intro. In this case, we go straight into, microthrust portal computers, smuggling data in a blaster, microthrust computer spikes, imperial biohounds, some various truth serums, a fast flash med pack, droid restraining bolts, deactivating a restraining bolt, heat sensor trips, move sense motion trips, pressure plate trips, personal tracking device, false voice transmitter, holobit generator, sample lock picker, an electro ticker. Says here, help you get through high-end security card locks, defeating a magnetic seal, a comlink bug, or bugging your opponent's comlink so you can listen in, Stormtrooper channel scanner, replacement prosthetics, various types of prosthetics. Here's the biotech board construct that similar to what Lobot was wearing. Viewer data links, NeuroSav droid interfaces, CYBORG knowledge cartridges, cardiomuscular package. For a moment, I'm gonna, because anybody, if you're into shadow tech or you're into cyber tech or cyberpunk or any of that stuff, or a lot of sci-fi that has implants, you're kind of savvy this sort of thing. When I look at this stuff, and I look at the implant technology for Star Wars, and how crude and bulky it is, how noticeable. In this case, this is the interlinks for computer devices and computers and so on and so forth. Look at how sleek the hands are for Luke and others, where they can put plasma synthetic skin over it, etc., etc. They do that in part because it's a social stigma thing, once again. I also think in part because the Empire, as a technological base, does not embrace cyber technology to the degree and the flair that something like Shadowrun does. So there's probably good reasons why this stuff, it's functionable, and that's all they cared about. There was no real desire or need or wish, and in some portions of the society would actually prefer these big, bulky, overt-looking things because it makes it easier for them to hate on the people with it. It's something in my, So we got muscle replacement, knowledge cylinders, response. Pretty much all your basic cyber technology interface stuff is available. It's just not everybody. It's not for everybody, and most people tend to avoid it if they can. Motion interface package, sensory package, implanted eyes, neural shock hands. And we got on to repulsor discs, jump packs, sky swoopers, submersible explorers, escape pods, animal restraining bolts. Yeah, animal restraining bolts. Customizing your airspeeder control flaps and airspeeder afterburn power increases, cloud car repulsor lift agitator adjustment, increased ion flow for cloud cars, repulsor pack adjustments, land speeder turbo thrust overdrive, skiff jetpack edition, repulsor lift balance and turbines, speeder bikes, adding transponder codes, removing a ship's transponder code, transponder codes in general, and how that's connected through the government, and your possible outcomes of removing them or altering them and getting busted. Hyperdrive, S-thread trackers, how blasters work, blaster beam splitters, firing the blaster gases, different types, blaster sight, blaster trap, air triggers, Jawa's ionization gun, Viper grenade launcher, blaster bolt diffusion, explosive slugs, tangle guns, explosive charges, IEDs, anti-gravity field bombs, and Imperial lift mine, and Defender ion mine. See, so there's a lot of nifty stuff in here, and tools-wise, and ideas and stuff like that that can be incorporated into pretty much any science fiction or cyberpunk technology-based game, and of course Star Wars, right? So there you have it, Cracken's Field Guide. Very good book. I would recommend it.